Byrne, we're ready whenever you are.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Trustee Oppenheim. Here. Trustee Marquardt.
Here.
Trustee Takaoka.
Here.
Trustee Forster. Here. Trustee Cook.
Here.
President Byrne.
Here.
And Trustee Schenk has
Okay,
given
we have a
notice
quorum
that he would be in
present.
attendance.
Will you please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There a motion to appoint Trustee Cook President Pro Tem?
I'd like to nominate Trustee Cook to be President Pro Tem for the duration of the meeting.
Second it.
Motion and a second. Roll call.
Trustee Forster. Aye. Trustee Takaoka. Aye. Trustee Oppenheim.
Aye.
Trustee Marquardt.
Aye.
Trustee Cook.
Aye.
President Byrne.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. All right. First item then is citizens wishing to address the board. Is there somebody who wishes to address the board on any issue? Okay, all right. Then hearing none. Assistant Village Manager, update on village events.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. An events update was initially prepared for the July 11th board agenda with the intent to provide guidance for persons accessing the Vernon Hills Day site. We have placed this item on tonight's agenda to give a recap of all of our summer programming and to remind persons of 2 remaining summer events. We started off 2023 with pageant on June 10th. Our new queens were selected and they began their reign of service. Thank you to Annabella, Leah, and Siobhan. On June 21st, we started the Arbor Theater Concert Series. We have conducted 3 events to date and have 3 remaining, including 1 tomorrow night. Experience live music in Vernon Hills at this picture-perfect outdoor venue. Just a couple images of how beautiful this venue is, and shout out to Chris Venata and his team for all the maintenance they're doing on the site. Looks absolutely beautiful. On June 25th, the Vernon Hills Police Department hosted the annual Jim and Helen Heyer Fishing Derby. This event provided service members and veterans receiving treatment at the VA with a day of recreation in beautiful Vernon Hills. We have a couple images of the site, and as I'm going through the pictures, we'd like to throw a shout out to all of our volunteers, our veteran service organizations, public works staff, police department, and village staff who provided support for this event. A couple of the people deserving of special recognition, retired village staff member Lisa Fischbach handmade a quilt for every service member and veteran in attendance, and she's in the upper left corner handing those out. We have some of the staff, like Melissa there, handing out swag bags. Commander Andrew Gillespie barbecued for everybody in attendance. And then we have some a former trustee, Jim Schultz, helping out as a one-on-one with a service member, teaching him to fish. I see Mark Stockley from Vernon Hills Public Works with Commander Renahan and 2 veterans. And then there's some of our volunteer staff and our event coordinator, Andy Hoppy. And again, she did a great job of this. I believe it's her 10th time doing this. And then Mark Stockley, who brought in the Fox Lake Veteran Service Organization to help with the weigh-in. So thank you to everybody. A great event. You can see the service members and veterans boarding the buses on their way home. And again, I want to say, Chief, to you and your crew, this is an event that means a lot to a lot of service members, as you know, and the Vernon Hills Police Department always does a good job of giving a day of recreation to veterans and making everybody feel welcome. So that's the crew of volunteers from the village. So again, thank you to everyone. Transitioning to July 4th parade, I want to talk about a picture-perfect day. We started off at Countryside Fire Protection District's headquarters with the Legion and everybody lining up for the singing of the national anthem. And there's Jocelyn, a Vernon Hills resident, on her first appearance of the day. Our local Legion, Post 1247, presenting the colors before the parade started. And everybody loves the parade. There's some very special VIPs looking good, along with our queens, well represented. And thank you to our partners at the Vernon Hills Park District. Shout out to James Kim And then there's Countryside Fire Protection District and our own Vernon Hills Public Works bringing out some of the heavy equipment. And politicians arrived, plenty, kissing babies, it was good. And Dr. Pete, District 73 represented, and James and the Giant Wheel, and a lot of the paid entertainment that we had. There's the Vernon Hills Days Committee promoting Vernon Hills Days, and just a lot of fun and entertainment. And for those that were able to make it, just a beautiful day, picture perfect. And Chris, please share with Public Works. The boulevard has never looked better, and I mean, blue skies, the greenery, the parkways, and obviously the banners that have received so much positive attention just look phenomenal. And again, one more time, Chief, it can't be said enough. The extra enhanced security that your team implemented made not everybody feel safe, but also welcome, and just a picture-perfect day. So again, there's some of the Public Works members who helped secure sites and some of the team that helped everybody feel safe. So Chief, please pass on to the Vernon Hills Police Department. Excellent job. And there's our committee. So again, congratulations to everybody for a successful event. So we went on to the evening entertainment, July 4th fireworks. Again, talking about picture-perfect venues. That was captured about 1 hour before fireworks, and just a beautiful setting for a perfect night of fireworks in Vernon Hills. We were provided entertainment by the Big Fun Band, and then we had our fire crew, our fire marshal, inspecting the people from Pyrotechnico, giving us a thumbs up at the launch site that everything was good. Jocelyn, in her second appearance of the day, singing a beautiful rendition of the national anthem, and it was so impressive that she impressed the band. So hard to do, but it was a great night. And again, some of our local VIPs warming the crowd up and preparing for the countdown, which our queens conducted. And then we had an amazing fireworks show, perhaps one of the best in Lake County. And then shout out to everybody that made this event safe and successful. Obviously the Park District, there's our Vernon Hills Public Works personnel assigned to the staff, and Countryside Fire that was on site to make sure everybody had a safe night. Again, thank you to all of our committees. We rolled into Vernon Hills Days on July 13th through July 16th, and there's some of our VIPs warming up the crowd, and we want to give a shout out to Dr. O, who personally commanded the storms to stay away, and they were threatening, and we were thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to have to do something with the fireworks, but they did stay away, so thank you, Dr. O. And then again, the Queen's doing the countdown, and just talk about an amazing grand finale, just the last 6 seconds of it. Just a beautiful night. Started off on Thursday with Six Speed Tranny, who rocked it. We had country night with Brian White. Unfortunately, we did have some rain. We did have to, evacuate the grounds for a short period of time. But everybody that was able to come back was able to see a very intimate performance of the James Barker Band. So just a beautiful night to see some country music. This was followed by Saturday, which had a huge turnout for our nostalgia night, our 50th anniversary of the Vernon Hills Park District. We had our carnival, our entertainment. You can see the grounds were just packed during the day. Started off with Ronnie Rice, Crying Shames, opportunity for leaders from the Vernon Hills Park District, Jeff Fougeroux, to recognize and thank his board. And also thanks to the Park District for sponsoring the Saturday entertainment, which was a huge draw. We had Bob Surratt, MC, coming out and warming the crowd up, introducing the Buckinghams, and they did a great job. For those that were in attendance, they know. Just beautiful night in beautiful Vernon Hills. Look at that crowd.
Yeah, and that picture shows Saturday night was very, very crowded.
Yeah, it was an awesome night, awesome night. And then a shout out to our Vernon Hills Days Committee, which Kevin is a part of, but our chair for many years, Kathy Zerillo, now Kathy Moore, announced that was her last time in chairing the event. So thank you to Kathy for all your years of service. And Brandon Atkins is in that picture, standing behind her. He'll be the new chair going forward, but just an amazing 4 days and just a beautiful night right there, able to share with the community at home. So again, thank you to all our community members and volunteers and everybody that made that night special. So an opportunity to talk about what's to come. National Night Out. You'll have an opportunity to join members from the Vernon Hills Police Department on Tuesday, August 1st at Hartman Park. This event will run from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is a reminder to everybody, National Night Out is an opportunity to enhance police and community partnerships, and it's a great opportunity to come out and meet some of Vernon Hills' finest. This event is made possible with the support of many local partners and sponsors, to include the Cook Memorial Library District, A to Z Entertainment, the Countryside Fire Protection District, Hawthorne District 73, Record a Hit, Tricosi University, and the Vernon Hills Park District. So thank you to all. In the last summer event, the Vernon Hills Park District will be hosting Rib Fest at Century Park. This event will be conducted Friday, August 18th and Saturday, August 19th. Beautiful Century Park, where you can see blues, brews, and barbecue. And again, a shout out to the Village Board, Vernon Hills Village Board, for helping sponsor musical entertainment with a financial donation. We hope everybody has had a wonderful summer, safe summer in beautiful Vernon Hills. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Yeah, and I'd like to echo the 4 days of Vernon Hills Days were outstanding. I mean, every night was well attended. Everybody seemed to have a great time every night. I got a number of comments, strong compliments on how well managed the website was in terms of letting people know that because of the construction on the road there and everything, where to park, how to get in and out, everything like that. I got a number of texts and a couple of phone calls and emails saying how much that helped and how easy it made everything go. And most of those were people that were there Saturday night with the big crowd.
That's awesome to hear. So we'll give a shout out to our entire communications team, which includes Lynn Brandel, who manages the website. We tried to push that information out on all of our platforms, including Channel 4 with Mike Stordo, and our social media. We have Kristen and Jeff Humasath from the police department that constantly push that out. But I will say, you know, a lot of staff time was dedicated to this. The chief and Chris know that we worked about 2 months ahead of time trying to prepare plans for this. We should also give a shout out to the people that made the plan work. Jeff Rutson, the director of Hawthorne, allowed us to use his lots, and then Vernon Hills Bank and Trust right there in the corner was extremely accommodating. So a lot of community engagement and support, but I'm glad to hear the communications hit the audience. We thought the plan worked very well, and we'll have an after-action review probably in late August or September once the entire event season is done, and see if any enhancements are needed. But for everything with the roads, the road construction, and obviously, you know, concerns about, you know, security at events, we echo what you said. We thought it was just a wonderful 4 days.
Yeah, and amazing work by the committee putting it all together. Any other comments from any other board members on it? Okay. All right. Thank you. Nobody else has a speaking part, right?
Correct.
Okay. And next item would be the omnibus vote agenda. Is there a motion to approve items A through K?
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion a second. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Oppenheim? Trustee Forster? Aye. Trustee Takaoka?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
President Byrne?
Aye.
Chairman Pro Tem Cook?
Aye. Motion carries. Next item is, there's no unfinished additional business, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then the next item is the approval and passage of Resolution 2023-025, a resolution granting approval to operate an outdoor dining and seating establishment for Buttermilk, 925 North Milwaukee Avenue, Suite 500.
Thank you. Buttermilk is requesting formal approval of the outdoor dining area that you see here. They began outdoor service during the pandemic. We were fairly relaxed with that and encouraged restaurants to provide seating where they could. At this point, they are requesting formal approval of the 76-seat outdoor area that you see here. The resolution is actually attached as 2023-25. Staff has no concern with this, recommending a standard condition that it would be attached to these plans that you see here. So there is a representative of the restaurant here if you have any questions, but with that, staff is requesting consensus.
This is basically the same as what's already there, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. Because it's been there a while now.
Yes, this is the second year it has been
Yeah.
there.
And there've been no problems that we know of, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Comments or questions from the board?
So are there any plans to put a covering over that temporary or?
There's no request attached to what we have received with the application.
Okay. Okay, then if there are no other comments, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Trustee Forster?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka?
Aye.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
President Byrne?
Aye.
Chairman Pro Tem Cook?
Aye. Motion carries. And that's it for board level business, correct? That's correct. So
Move to adjourn.
are we going to go motion to adjourn and then we'll do, is there a closed
Oh,
session?
do we have a closed session?
Executive session after the count
After,
meeting, so you
okay.
don't have to make that motion
Okay,
now.
make it
Just a
then.
motion to
Okay, so
adjourn.
is there a motion to adjourn the board meeting and go to committee of the whole?
So made.
Second?
Motion second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, board meeting is adjourned.
I'd like to call the committee, the whole meeting, to order. Is there a motion to appoint, trustee Cook to be president pro tem?
So made.
Second.
Motion is second, roll call.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Trustee Forster?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye?
President Byrne?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. First item of business then is the approval of the committee of the whole meeting minutes of June 20th, 2023. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any comments, questions, corrections, additions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka?
Abstain.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Trustee Forster?
Aye.
President Byrne?
Aye.
Chairman Pro Tem Cook?
Aye, motion carries. Second item is a request for extension to complete subdivision improvements, Woodland Chase Subdivision, Icon Building Group.
Thank you. Director Venata and myself have been working with Icon Building Group for the last couple of months to put this request together. The Woodland Chase subdivision was approved in 2016 and has been underway since that time, more or less, the last few years. The village code and the development ordinance has a requirement to complete all of the subdivision improvements. So those would be the public and quasi-public improvements associated with the development, sidewalk, pond, landscaping, et cetera, within 3 years unless an extension is granted by the board. There's been a reduction to the performance guarantee for this development in front of the board in the past, but there was no specific extension approved to set a new deadline. So what we've been working with Icon on is coming up with a reasonable deadline for completing the outstanding improvements. So those improvements are outlined on this graphic. It is completion of the sidewalk network and associated crosswalks, the final lift of the asphalt on the road surfaces, and then grading and seeding the undeveloped lots using a stockpile of topsoil that's been located on a particular lot there for the last year or so. So in your packet is a memo describing the request. There's no formal action tonight, just seeking direction in response to the extension request that's been submitted by Icon. That extension request is to specifically set a deadline for completion of the subdivision improvements by October 31st of 2025. The intermediate deadlines are vacant lot grading and seeding by May of 2024. Sidewalk and crosswalk completion immediately following that. Final lift of asphalt in June of 2025, and completion of all punch list corrective action by October of 2025. So with that, there is a representative icon here to answer any questions you might have, and Director Vanetta and I are also available if you have any questions.
So you're not looking for any formal action by us tonight, just,
Consensus to put together a resolution formally extending the deadline for completion of these improvements, and then we would work with their bond company to have the performance guarantee deadline extended to that same date.
okay. Comments or questions from the board?
How are residents and compared because of final servicing where there are several houses up? So I don't know if there are complaints from the residents themselves.
We've heard from the residents mostly with respect to landscaping, maintenance of the undeveloped lots, maintenance of the area around the pond, and we are working with ICON on those items as well. The landscape plan was installed as designed, and then there's been some invasive species encroaching into the area around the pond, and that does need to be addressed.
My question is, do you have any issues with their plan, or would you like to see anything done differently?
I think restoring to the original approved plan, but the plan itself, no. I think that we're satisfied with the general plans as approved.
Okay.
It's just more extension of the date as opposed to any changes to the plan, correct?
Yeah, and putting together some specific agreement for these milestones. So the sidewalk has been done piecemeal at this point because the developer wouldn't want to spend money on the sidewalk twice. Given the number of vacant lots that are not programmed for development, we're trying to come up with a reasonable deadline to complete the sidewalk network, even if those lots don't sell.
So you're talking about especially the sidewalks on the north and west side in front of those vacant lots, correct?
So the red line here is
Yeah.
that's the critical area. That's the largest gap in the sidewalk. It's also the area that it's designed to be on one side of the street, and that particular side of the street hasn't had very many sales on it.
Yeah.
Is this roughly 50% completed?
Roughly, yes.
Okay.
The yellow rectangles there are the houses that are underway right now.
For the asphalt, that they don't raise it until, generally speaking, until the subdivision is completed, because is it bad for it to have the trucks on there? Is that why they wait?
Yeah, ultimately, you want to have construction completed to a reasonable degree before you put your final lift to asphalt. Heavy equipment turning, moving on it is ultimately going to help increase the deterioration of that surface. So it's common, we do it on all of our developments, that you would just put the binder course, the course below the surface, in first, get mostly complete with construction, and your final step would be putting the final surface course of asphalt.
So they might need to replace the asphalt sooner, given that it's going to be established before those last homes go in, assuming those ever do go in.
I think one of the reasons why the date is set when it is hoping to continue to do as much construction, much development between now and then as possible, but at some point, we need to put in that final surface. We need to have a date and a deadline for that.
Right.
Okay. So it sounds like we have consensus of the board to go ahead and adjust these dates? Okay.
So we would come back with a resolution documenting all of this, and then we would commence working with the bond company to extend the surety to the same deadline.
Yeah, my only regret with this development is we could not get the school districts to agree to join it.
Yeah.
Worked on that almost 2 years. Okay, if there's nothing else on this then, right? Okay, then moving on, the next item is the Vernon Hills Town Center Lot 4 concept plan discussion.
So we wanted to bring today the concept plan for the Lot 4 in the Vernon Hills Town Center. As you may know, the village acquired this lot back in 2021 as part of the declaration of easement and operating agreement We always had the plan of building a park here. The construction of the park is what triggers the removal of the village from that agreement. So staff put together a design for the park. What we were intending as a concept was something that's lower maintenance, easy to work in with our existing public works staff, existing contracts, that wasn't going to add an extra burden on our public works department, while also improving this lot and this area and trying to beautify the town center. So the main concept is a simple sidewalk, concrete sidewalk path that has a center area with a pergola, a couple benches, a focal point in the center, with a pot that will be planted seasonally, some trees, some natural areas, pollinator garden areas, maybe some educational signage. So what we're looking for from the committee of the whole is any feedback. The plan would be based on any suggestions or thoughts on this design. We'd move into getting construction prices, bringing that back as soon as August 15th, and move forward with the construction this fall.
Comments from the board?
Yeah. I've seen in the last year about 5 or 6 times somebody out with a lawn chair sitting in that area. And when it was gravel too. So I don't know where they came from, if they worked in the stores or what, but I would take pictures and send them to Kevin. I'm like, people are sitting here, so I think it's way nicer.
I'll also add that we met with a representative of the property management company of the apartment complex, as well as one of the major owners of a lot of the buildings in the Vernon Hills Town Center. Showed them our concept design. They didn't have any issues. They were in support of the way this looked.
Do you have any tables there?
No, just a bench.
What kind of tables? Are you-
Like
I'm
like a
sorry.
like a picnic table?
Yeah, no, we don't have any tables in the current design. The thought was not necessarily to make this a gathering space. It's not somewhere that we would rent out or anything like that, where you'd get large community gatherings. It's meant to be a passive park. It certainly would be simple to add a table, if that would be a suggestion, but the general thought behind it was, just a place to if you grabbed a slice of pizza or a taco at the place next door and wanted to walk and sit on a bench.
Well, that's why I wanted a table. If
Yeah,
you're having a
thanks.
taco especially, you don't want it on your lap.
You got to get them to move quick.
So, I mean, you can sit down and put it next to you or whatever, but so it would be kind of nice to have that. I don't know if you were intentionally trying to discourage that because you don't want to have to check the trash can as often. The more people are eating there, then.
We already are going to be, part of that agreement is for the village to maintain the trash, to come through. This is going to have to be a stop on our regular maintenance of inspection of all the buildings and facilities of checking this trash. So that's certainly an option we can add.
You guys agree? It'd be nice to have a.
Yeah, let's add a table. Just, table and 4 chairs.
Yeah, I mean, just some kind of a nice picnic table or 2 would be maybe a good addition, yeah.
Or we can look at some park amenities that are affixed. Everything's affixed to the concrete. You don't want anything that would be removable, anyone
No.
would take away. But
Right.
there are certainly options like that we can look into and add to this design.
Okay. Other comments? Questions? You don't have anything formal except just what we've given you, correct?
Correct, just feedback. So we're going to take this, most of our construction documents are close to ready to go, so this will be sent out to solicit bids, and we'll hopefully bring it back to the August 15th meeting for approval of a construction contract.
No, it just looks like a very, very good use of this small,
Small spot, yeah.
space that's,
Gravel lot.
yeah. I mean, it's better than a parking lot, let's put it that way, by a bunch. Okay. Nothing else? All right, then That's it for committee, correct? That's correct. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn the committee of the whole and go to closed session.
This will be regarding litigation and approval of minutes.
Okay. Is there a motion? to
So
that?
made.
A second. Motion a second. Roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Forster,
Aye.
President Byrne,
Aye.
Chairman Pro Tem Cook.
Aye. Motion carries. We are adjourned for this evening and will not be conducting any other business. Thank you for coming.